Hey everybody, it's Paul. Today I wanted to talk about a product that I just recently picked up from my local game store. It was Game Exchange again this time. Always support local if you can, right? Definitely helps out your local economy. But I purchased the Admiral wireless controller for the N64. And this is it. Just wanted to show it to you and go over it with you. This product's been out for a while. It's made by Hyperkin. But I've been trying it since yesterday, and so far it seems to work pretty well. Here we are. So just for comparison's sake, I have the Admiral out next to an original N64 controller. And as you can see, they greatly changed the design on this. You know, basically they took the design and made it more of like a traditional controller today. Because the N64 does have a very bizarre shape. You know, to me, it always reminded me of like a pack of bananas or whatever you call that. I could be very much alone in that, but the button layout, you know, is basically the same as far as all this goes. You know, really it's just flipping this that made it more modern. Now also, you know, they took out where you put the rumble pack or the memory card unit, and you do have one shoulder button up here, versus on this one you actually have two sets of shoulder buttons, and of course there's no place to plug in a memory card. But what you do have is a rechargeable battery, and you can still use the memory card, but you use it in the dongle, which is why this thing is so massive. The memory card plugs into here. Not sure you can really see that very well on the camera, but that's where it goes. And then you also have this SD card slot right here, which is good for transferring save files and things like that. Now, the other good thing about the Admiral is that it will also work on PC, and I believe it's so to work on Switch as well. And that just goes with straight Bluetooth. Now, you don't need the dongle at all for that, so that's cool. Overall, the controller is pretty light, even though it does have a rechargeable battery in there. And I don't know the length of how long this battery stays charged, but I've played it so far, and it's remained charged. I mean, the directions say 6 hours, but you know how that goes. You never know till you try it out in a real world scenario. But basically there's a sync button on the top, and that's also where your charge cable would go. And yeah, you just sync it with the appropriate setting. You have the one for the controller, the one for Bluetooth, just by swapping it down here. And yeah, then you're good to go. So I'm just going to put it on some GoldenEye, and we'll just try it and see how it goes. Okay, let's give this a go. Now we are playing on agent settings because I am not that good. Let's see if we can make some mayhem. Oh, wow. I'm not going to grab the sniper rifle because I'm not good enough to use it. Okay, so the controller feels pretty smooth. Hopefully that's coming across on camera. I don't feel like the controller's hindering me in any way. I feel like I'm not very good at this game no matter what I do. So I can't really blame the controller if I am not doing a great job. The glass took some bullets, huh? They're inside of here. Again, don't make fun of me. I want to see some cheesy explosions. I'm going to show one more area. See how we do. Hopefully you can tell the controller is working pretty well. Let's see if we can shoot this guy. Nope. Okay, got him. We should have a guy peeing right here. Not anymore. Guess this guy pees backwards. I don't really know. As does him. Okay. So again, controller seems to work pretty well. Wireless feels non-laggy, which is always important with a controller. I don't feel any delay. I just feel my terrible game skills here. Found the key card. Ooh, someone shot me. Screw it. Going loud. Hopefully that gave you a pretty good example of how this controller handles. Now, this is what I'll say about it. This stick is definitely not as smooth as an original N64 stick. But the original N64 sticks are getting pretty old, and while they do make plenty of controllers that mimic it, they're still not original. Plus, keep in mind, if you're trying to introduce somebody younger to N64 games, this is a much better option. And this is even if you're going on Switch Online. Because here's the thing, to us that grew up with the N64, this controller is nostalgic, right? It feels good, it looks unique, and it really is like the N64. I mean, you just show somebody this and, you know, they know exactly what you're talking about if they grew up back then. You give this to somebody nowadays, a child, maybe someone who just completely skipped games back then, and this can be just weird and awkward.
That's what she said.
It was pretty cool and unique, you know, back in the 1990s. In 2023, not so much. So the Admiral definitely has a more modern controller design. So giving this to somebody to play nowadays would be much easier for them than trying to make them figure out the original N64 controller. Do you have any thoughts on the Hyperkin Admiral? Have you tried it yourself? Do you just completely hate third-party controllers? Let me know in the comments what you think. Like and subscribe, and thank you very much for watching this video. Have a good day.